What's up, guys? I have here a match with my friend on the left playing zombies, and I am on the right playing winged rhinos. I'm pretty new to the winged rhinos deck. I've only played it a couple times, but I generally think it's a pretty straightforward deck to play, and I thought it could be a cool matchup against zombies because they run a lot of traps, right? They run obviously bottomless, deep prison, maybe even compulse. And I thought it could just be a good display of what the Winged Rhinos deck could do against other decks like, Lightsworn that's not really playing any back row, and they have things like Honest. I think Winged Rhinos probably struggles, and I've heard that Winged Rhinos also struggles against Black Wings, probably because of like Kalut and stuff like that, and all of their guys are just pretty big. This is the second match we played. The first match, I actually 2-0'd him. I got access to Winged Rhinos pretty early, and then there was just nothing he could really do. So that was a pretty quick match right before this one. This match doesn't quite go as favorably for me, and I just wanted to kind of showcase some of the, what happens when maybe don't get access to Rhinos as early as you would like. So he rips the Heavy Storm. I baited that out. Luckily, I had to draw cards there, and I had the Compulse, so he really only got rid of the Deep Prison, and I got to draw 2. Okay, let's see. So he sets... he's playing recruiters like Pyramid Turtle. So it's probably a Pyramid Turtle or Goblin Zombie at this point. I go ahead and set 3 back row since I'm not afraid of heavy at all whatsoever. He drops the freaking Spirit Reaper, which kind of... it kind of forces me to answer it. Luckily, I do have the other Deep Prison, and I figure there's not really going to be... I could use it to get rid of a Recruiter or Goblin Zombie, but I figured now's a pretty decent time to do it. And obviously, I don't have access to Rhinos, otherwise I probably would have summoned it by now. And okay, so before I was thinking about taking an attack with the Fires of Doomsday, blocking the Reaper attack, but I figured it'd be better just to get rid of the Reaper with the Deep Prison. And I'm really not drawing anything super helpful right here. Okay, so I Tribute to try to banish his turtle. He chains Torrential. Okay, so now he has a zombie in the grave for... Okay, here it is, Book of Life, Speak of the Devil. So I'm like, ugh. If he tributes for Caius and I don't have a way to answer it, it'd be kind of bad. I forget what my other back row is. Maybe it is also chainable. But I decided to just go ahead and Transmigration Prophecy right here. And I get rid of his Pyramid Turtle. And I'm thinking if I want to put something from my graveyard back into my deck. Because if you don't know, Transmigration Prophecy, you can put cards from either player's graveyard back in their deck. So it can be nice to recycle things like your synchros or whatnot. And I was contemplating between putting Caius back in the deck or another trap, and I figured that based on my hand, it wouldn't be good to draw another Caius right here. So I do let the Caius get banished by his Book of Life, and I decide to put the Compulse back because Compulse is just very good against zombies for when they go for their synchro plays. So that's what we ended up doing there. I would have liked to hold the Transmigration Prophecy for a Plague Spreader play, but I figured that was not a bad time to use it. He gets in there with Goblin Zombie, and you can see it. I mill an MST, and I'm already kind of on the back foot right here. Like, ideally, by this point in the game, I would have Rhinos. I would be, resolving Accumulated Fortune. Okay, here comes the Rhinos, so that's good. I clear the zombie. I think he's probably going to search for Plague Spreader unless he already has it. But typically that's one of the first cards zombies goes for since it unlocks all of their lines. Otherwise he'd probably go for Mizuki. Okay, so he does go for the Plague. I have the Rhinos in play finally. We're a little bit deeper into the game. Oh, you can see the Dark Arm Dragon in his hand. Yeah. So Dark Arm Dragon is a huge problem for this deck. There's no real clean outs to it when it's already hit the board. Your best bet is to bottomless it when it first comes out, but once it already hits the board, it's like you're not playing any ways to out it, except for Fires of Doomsday and Dicaius. Sorry for the background noise. Except for Fires of Doomsday and Caius. Otherwise, like, they're just gonna pop all of your back row. And even if it is chainable, it's still 2800. It's hard to run over it. So he goes for a very cool Black Rose play right here. I found it interesting at the time. I save 2 of my cards, and what does he hit? Okay, skill success, I don't really care about that. But then he did that so that he could enable Dark Armed, which is a huge fucking problem for me. Puts me on the clock. Winged Rhynos isn't doing shit. Skill Successor does bump up Winged Rhynos to 27, but it's, 26? Yeah, 26, but it's not going to be enough. I have a Breaker in my hand, which could get pumped up to 27 with Skill Successor, but that's also not enough. So I gotta think about how this deck deals with Dark Arm moving forward. This deck also really struggles against JD for pretty much the same reasons. If you don't bottomless it once it comes out, like immediately, then it's just gonna be very hard to deal with it. For that reason, I've also considered maining what's called Grand Mole, just to have another out to it. But I'm pretty much cooked here. I'm just setting bluffs. They're nothing. I drew the bottomless a turn too late, and I really got nothing to cook with right here. And he's just gonna keep popping, and I'm on a clock. Here I'm thinking, but there's really nothing to think about. I think I have a Torrential in my hand, and that's the Winged Rhynos that I set, hoping that he plays into it, but he's definitely not going to play into it. So this game is all but over. And yep, he's just going to go. He's a smart player, so he just pops the back row, pops the monster. No need to do anything fancy, just get in there for lethal. Yep. Okay, so moving on to game 2. I put in like DD Crows and stuff like that. How do I deal with things like Dark Armed and JD? You could think about like maybe Fiendish Chained as an option. It's also a trap, which is good. Yeah. Okay. I'm missing in my side deck. I don't think I put Smashing Grounds in there, but Smashing Ground would be a very solid option as well. Okay, so he summons Mizuki into my back row. Do I do anything here or take it? It seems like I take it. Obviously I would have deprisoned that if I had deprisoned, so it's kind of telling him that I don't have deprison set at that moment. But we got this 5 back row, which is pretty gnarly. Okay, so I did end up setting the deprison. I think originally I set Compulse. So I try to deprison, he has no response, and here's where I start to pop off MST, the new set back row, I believe, and no response. Then we chain Fires of Doomsday, that's chain link 3, and then we have, not 1, but 2 accumulated fortunes, which is so nasty. So I'm gonna draw 4 right here, pop a back row, summon 2 tokens, banish Mizuki. That's pretty much as good as it gets. Like, that's the peak of what you're trying to do with this deck. Unfortunately, I draw 4 cards and I just don't draw anything decent. I didn't draw any Rhynos. I think I'm chilling on double DD Crow and Transmigration Prophecy, so those are all dead for now. And yeah, this is kind of showcasing like both the good parts and bad parts of the deck. Like, you draw a whole bunch of cards, but you just draw more traps and aren't really drawing too many things to be proactive. And ultimately, if you can't reduce your opponent's life points down to 0, you're not going to win the game. So I gotta think of ways to make this deck a little bit more proactive instead of just completely reactive. I go ahead and set a fresh new 4 back row here, and I think I'm gonna also draw a lot more and still not really have too much to do with them. But again, the whole point of me posting this match is to kind of show, all aspects of the deck, right? Like, I hate when people just put highlight rules of the deck or only show it off when it's winning or functioning as it's intended to. And I think it's just good to kind of get some perspective about when the deck doesn't function as you would expect to do. Okay, so he summons... Oh, this is so good. So he's just getting rid of my tokens for free with Plague. I'm unable to convert these. I did need to use the Fires of Doomsday to get to a high enough chain link to activate the accumulated fortune. Otherwise, I would have saved it. But this isn't great. Yep. Okay. Sick. So... Oh, he's going to Synchro. Okay, so he's going to Synchro for Gaia, which is basically just like a bottomless litmus test. He's basically just doing a little bottomless check. And I'm like, I don't really want to waste anything on this card. It's not Brio or Goyo. The whole point of this card in the deck is to do like two things, and that's to run over Stardust and bait out Bottomless and Deprison. So I'm like, do I let this go through? And I'm like, okay, I'm kind of in a slow position right here where I don't really have too much. So I'm like, okay, might as well just get rid of this now because I'm probably going to be forced to get rid of it next turn, if not now. So activate Compulse, start to chain things. Okay, so, okay, we have Dust Tornado hit the back row, I think that is. And then Accumulated Fortune again. So we're gonna draw 3, get rid of the back row, bounce a monster. Once again, pretty good. So I've drawn 7 cards off of my draw traps, I think, at this point in time, and I'm still just not drawing any gas. I think my hand is like double Caius, double DD Crow, Transmigration Prophecy, maybe like Gores, and or maybe that's not at this point in time, but very soon that's kind of what my hand looks like. Set another fresh set of back row. Decree kind of just cooks this deck, by the way, which is why you're playing Breakers in the side and the main. Okay, so there's the Breaker that we were just talking about. And I think he's gonna blind snipe a back row, which is crazy. Let's see what he hits. He hits that one. Okay, sick. So it's Yada, so that's good for me. But yeah, I think I'm pretty much playing the exact same build as the macro show in the main deck anyway, except I think I swapped out one Breaker for Spirit Reaper just to go kind of aggro. And I put a Breaker in the side, and I think our side decks look a little bit different. But you can see I'm doing a whole lot of trap card activation, but also a whole lot of nothing at the same time. Oh, he hits the D Prism with the Caius. That's such a good snipe. I think it's like the only non-chainable card I have in the back row. So that's such a good snipe. And in general, you want to hit the back row with the Caius because you want to take a chance on hitting the non-chainable back row, whereas if you hit Wing Rhynos, it's almost never going to land because they can usually chain a back row and bounce the Wing Rhynos back to hand. So pro tip from the macro show, you usually want to hit the back row, and it pays off for him in this instance. So okay, this is the point in time where my hand, I think, is like double DD Crow, double Caius, and some other non-usable cards, and I think I'm thinking about just using Jar of Greed to try to like get myself into a spot where I can actually do something. Okay, not yet. Sorry, spoiler alert. So 24, okay, Caius eats the Mirror Forest. I'm just trying to wait as long as I can to try to get into something, but you can see, I think pretty soon I get impatient here. Yeah, okay, I think this is when I get a little bit impatient and just Jar of Greed. And I think I draw into like a Gores or like another monster, basically another thing I can't set. So my whole hand is like, I think it's all monsters or something. Because like, I think I'm going to have to discard for hand size at this point. I'm not really sure how it's possible for me to have all monsters. Like, I guess it could be like double DD Crow, Gores, double Caius, Tragodia. But I end up just, yeah, I end up setting a DD Crow right here. Otherwise, I'm going to have to discard for hand size, I believe. So I think I just set a DD Crow and hope to keep it alive and try to tribute it for Caius. But I've got double DD Crow and Transmigration Prophecy, and he's not giving me an opportunity to activate any of them. So I'm like, okay, I'll just set this card and try to block an attack or tribute for Caius. Okay, here's my hand. So I show my hand. Okay, there we go. I think it was like double Caius, Battle Fader. I think it had Cyber Valley as well. So a handful of monsters is not what you want to see when you're playing this deck. So he just clears the DD Crow for free. I could have just activated it, I suppose, but I figured blocking an attack was better. Let's see if I... Oh, okay. Let me Heavy Storm play. That's kind of cool. We went with the Pro Set Heavy. Oh, and we got rid of some good back row. So he sided in skill drain against his deck, which is pretty good to stop Rhynos. And I chained the Transmigration Prophecy. I think... okay, so put back both of his zombies. And then I'm trying to make a push here. I brain control Caius. Pretty nice. Optionally, I could have just brain controlled the DD assailant, attacked the face down, and then maybe Cyber Valleyed it away. That was another option. I chose to go with this option to kind of start putting some pressure with the Caius. But again, you saw my hand is all monsters. Oh, I know why I did this. It's because I have the second Caius in my hand along with Battle Fader. So I have, a follow-up Caius or Cyber Valley play with the Battle Fader. So I figured I'd just force him to try to out this Caius, maybe with his own Caius, and then I could just punish him for that. Okay, so his turn. Ooh, he drew a return. That's a nice one, especially in this game state. Okay, so he goes set 2 back row, set 1 monster, pass to me. I get a little bit greedy right here. I think I end up tributing this Caius. No. I either tribute this Caius for my second Caius, or I just attack with this Caius. I think the right move... Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I'm afraid of like Goblin Zombie or something. Okay, it was Zombie Master. Interesting set. I end up compulsing the Caius back to my hand because I do, again, have the Battle Fader play. So I wanted to just keep that Caius. But yeah, once again, unless you see Rhynos early and can put some pressure on with that, this deck kind of struggles to deal 8,000 damage. Yeah. I've drawn like more than half my deck at this point and kind of running out of gas. Okay, so I see a Mirror Force, a Book of Life, and I think that's Emergency Teleport in his hand, and we saw Return as back row. So he doesn't do anything. Oh, sorry. This whole time, I think I was thinking in his draw phase, maybe. I ended up preemptively DD Crowing because he had 3 Darks in grave, and I literally just cannot deal with Dark Armed. So I preemptively DD Crow, and I remember also thinking that I was trying to bait him into using Return. I remember specifically thinking about that. So I'm like, this DD Crow, proactively prevents Dark Armed, and it kind of makes it even more tempting for him to activate Return. But I do have the Battle Fader, so I will be safe from that, or so I think. And he thinks about it. A lot, and I think he does indeed end up going for the Return. His hand is Book of Life, E-Telly, Mirror Force. I would also be very tempted to go for return, not gonna lie. Yep, so there it is. He flips it. He flips it. And I remember him saying in real life, like, please don't have Battle Fader. Please don't have Battle Fader. And I'm only running one Battle Fader, but, you know, since he knows my hand is bricked up, he can kind of assume that it's full of monsters and probably has Battle Fader. So, but he just goes for the aggro play, and he just says, fuck it, we ball. So main phase 2, he has the E-Telly. So I was like, please don't have a way to convert any of these monsters. As far as I knew, he didn't have the he didn't have a tuner. But he does have the E-Telly to go into the Krebins, which is going to be very good. Luckily, he doesn't have another monster to pitch for Zombie Master, which is fortunate for me. But so he's gonna bring out what's it called? I guess he has access to level 2 or 3 in the form of Krebins and Psychic Commander. So he can go for basically anything he wants. He can go for Dark End, he can go for Stardust, Thought Ruler, he can go for Mistworm to bounce things back, he can go for Brio. Yeah, he's kind of got the pick of the lot, as they say. I think that's the saying. And yeah, he can't leave this Battle Fader on the board because he knows I have Kaius, so he needs to get rid of this Battle Fader for sure. And he's basically just trying to get maximum value out of his zombies because they're going to get banished, or his field, because it's all going to get banished in the end phase from return anyway. So yeah. And his number one prerogative should be to get the Mizuki into the grave so he can get its effect off later on if he needs it. And yeah, so he does bring out the Krebons and Krebin, however you say it, Krebons. And he goes for the Brio. He pitches Mirror Force to bounce the Kaius back. That's a very heads up play from his part. Bounce the Kaius back so he has a follow-up. That's a very cool play. Yeah. Oh, sorry, not even the follow-up. He summons the Kaius? That's crazy. Yeah, he summons the Kaius. Interesting. That's actually it ends up being a really, really good play. So I don't take the 1000 burn damage in case you didn't know, because this Battle Fader gets banished by its own effect, not Kaius. But he leaves. Yeah, so he puts me in a very, very tough spot with a 24 and 23 body on the field. This deck does struggle to get over, big monsters similar to Glad's. A little bit of a desperation Yada play right here. His hand is Book of Life, so he has some follow-up play. And I really don't have a play here. It's not going to be enough. I crash the Rhynos into the Brio, drop this Tragodia, and I have Kaius still in my hand. I forgot what my life points are at this time. Sorry for not having the life points up, but I'm definitely in lethal range and I can't take a set of direct attacks. I take the Brio, and I'm in a really tough spot right here because I can't bounce the Kaius back because I know he has the Mizuki. He also has the Book of Life in his hand, so like I can't really put this Kaius back into his hand because that'll just clear my whole field, and I can't clear this Kaius and Brio either. Also, leaving it on the field isn't great, but yeah, it's not great. We kind of go back and forth, and we ultimately decide that like just taking the Brio and not bouncing the Kaius is the move. Like, he definitely has a trippy fodder, so I just do that. But this is this is game either way, right? So he just brings back the zombie master with the Mizuki, and then he just clears the whole board, and it's pretty much this game from here. Yeah, it's pretty much just game from here. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope this shows kind of like some of the situations that Winged Rhynos struggles with. I will be updating my list a little bit in the future, but appreciate it. Please do like and subscribe. Peace.